For 3 months, my husband disappeared every night. I followed him and found another woman's house. But the truth inside that blue door changed my life forever. My name is Hannah. I am 31 years old. I am married. My husband's name is Daniel. He is 33 years old. We have been married for 5 years. We have a baby daughter. Her name is Lily. She is 6 months old. Daniel is a good husband. He works as a financial analyst. Every evening, he comes home around 6 o'clock. He plays with Lily and helps me cook dinner. Sometimes he even washes the dishes. He jokes with me and makes me laugh. I love my husband very much. I trust him completely. At least, I used to. 3 months ago, everything in my life changed. One evening, during dinner, Daniel said something unexpected. "Hannah," he said quietly, "I got a second job. I'll be working at night." I looked at him in surprise. "A second job?" I asked. "Why? We're doing fine with money." Daniel smiled slightly. "I want to save more for Lily's future." It sounded reasonable, but something about it felt strange. "What kind of job?" I asked. Daniel hesitated. "It's just evening work," he said. "I'll leave around 9 and come back after midnight." I wanted to ask more questions, but I decided to trust him. That night at 9 o'clock, Daniel left the house. After that, it became his routine. Every night he left at 9 and came home after midnight. And every time he returned home, he went straight to the shower. At first, I didn't think much about it, but soon I began to notice small things. One morning, while doing laundry, I picked up Daniel's shirt from the night before. I smelled something. Perfume. Sweet and floral. It wasn't mine. I never wear perfume because strong smells make Lily sneeze. My heart dropped. Why did Daniel smell like another woman's perfume? A few days later, I found something else. While putting away his coat, a receipt fell out of the pocket. It was from an expensive Italian restaurant. Dinner for 2. The date was last Thursday. The same night Daniel said he was working. My hands began to shake. Who was he having dinner with? That evening I wanted to ask him, but I was afraid of the answer, so I said nothing. Instead, I started watching him more carefully. Daniel was always on his phone now. When I entered the room, he quickly locked the screen. One evening, I asked, "Who are you texting?" "Just work stuff," he replied. But he looked nervous. One night, his phone buzzed while he was in the shower. I picked it up. A message appeared from a contact saved as L. The message said, "Can't wait to see you tonight." My heart broke. When Daniel came out of the bathroom, he looked cheerful. He kissed me goodbye and left for his job. I sat on the couch holding Lily and cried quietly. During the next week, more clues appeared. Another receipt, this time from a flower shop. 2 dozen roses. Daniel had never bought me flowers. He also started dressing more carefully for his night job. He wore his best shirts and used cologne. My friend Olivia visited one afternoon. She saw my face and immediately knew something was wrong. "Hannah, what happened?" she asked. I told her everything. The perfume, the receipts, the messages. Olivia listened and then said softly, "Hannah, It sounds like he might be cheating. I shook my head. No, Daniel wouldn't do that. But deep inside, I wasn't sure anymore. That night, I decided to follow him. At 9 o'clock, Daniel left the house. I asked my neighbour to watch Lily and got into my car. I followed him. He drove for about 20 minutes and stopped in a quiet neighbourhood. He parked in front of a small house with a blue door. My chest tightened. Daniel walked to the door. Someone opened it. He smiled and walked inside. I sat in my car staring at the blue door. My husband had just entered another woman's house. I waited for 2 hours. Daniel never came out. Finally, I drove home in tears. After midnight, Daniel returned home like always. He showered and went to bed. I pretended to be asleep, but inside, my heart was breaking. The next morning, I searched his phone again. I found the number saved as L. I searched it online. A name appeared. Laura. I found her social media profile. She was beautiful. Long dark hair, confident smile. She looked perfect. Meanwhile, I was tired from caring for a newborn. I barely slept. I hardly wore makeup anymore. Of course, Daniel wanted someone better, someone exciting. I cried until I had no tears left. That evening, Daniel noticed my mood. "Hannah, what's wrong?" he asked. "Nothing," I said. He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Just go to your night job," I said. Daniel looked confused, but left. The next evening, I couldn't take it anymore. "Daniel, we need to talk," I said. He looked surprised. "I have to leave soon." "No," I said firmly. "Sit down." Daniel sat on the couch. I took a deep breath. "Where do you go every night?" "Hannah, I told you, stop lying," I said. "I found the receipts. I saw the messages. I even followed you to that house." Daniel's face went pale. "You followed me?" "Yes." "Who is Laura? Why do you go to her house every night?" Daniel looked shocked. "How do you know that name?" he asked. "Just tell me the truth," I said. Daniel ran his hands through his hair. Then he said something I never expected. "Hannah, Laura is your mother." I froze. "What?" Daniel nodded. "The house I visit every night is your mother's house." My mind went blank. I hadn't spoken to my mother in 8 years. We had a terrible fight and stopped talking. When I married Daniel, I didn't invite her. When Lily was born, I didn't tell her. Daniel continued. 3 months ago, your mother contacted me. I stared at him in shock. "She's very sick," he said quietly. "Stage 4 cancer. The doctors say she doesn't have much time left." I couldn't breathe. My mother, dying. Daniel explained everything. "She wanted to see you and meet Lily, but she was too afraid to call you. So she asked me to visit and tell her about your life." "You've been visiting her every night?" I asked. Daniel nodded. "I show her pictures of Lily and tell her stories about you." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I didn't want to force you," he said. "I know how much she hurt you. And the perfume? I asked. That's from her nurse. The restaurant receipt? Takeout. Your mum wanted her favourite pasta. The flowers? For her room. And the name Elle? I saved her contact that way, so you wouldn't recognise it. Everything suddenly made sense. Tears filled my eyes. I thought you were cheating, I whispered. Daniel shook his head. Never. Then he opened a video on his phone. I recorded messages from your mum, he said. My mother appeared on the screen. She looked thin and weak. Hannah, she said softly. My beautiful daughter. I'm sorry for everything. I love you. I started crying. I looked at Daniel. I'm so sorry, I said. He hugged me. It's okay. Can I still see her? I asked. Yes, Daniel said. She's waiting. We drove to the house with the blue door. Inside, my mother was lying in a hospital bed. When she saw me, she began to cry. Hannah. I'm here, Mum. We hugged and cried together. The next day, I brought Lily to meet her grandmother. My mother held her gently and kissed her forehead. She's perfect, she said. For the next 2 months, I visited my mother every day. We talked, laughed, and cried. 2 months later, she passed away peacefully, while I held her hand. Her last words were simple. I love you, Hannah. At the funeral, I held Daniel's hand. Thank you, I said, for giving me the chance to say goodbye. That was when I truly understood my husband's love. For 3 months, he carried a secret to protect my heart. And because of that love, I got the chance to forgive my mother before it was too late. And that is something I will never forget.